With the Dandles area.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Shit, I'm so bad at this because for once I'm not just playing something off of the. Oh wait, what happened? Oh, did the stream die? Oh, did the stream die? Uh-oh. The stream might have died. Let me see. Oh, no, bro. Okay, it's back up. You guys can see me now? You guys can hear me now, right? Okay, so, oh, no. That's not good. Shit, I guess I gotta stop the stream and restart it. Let me see. Can you guys hear me? It's really laggy. Hold on, let me stop. Let me see. Okay, the stream is back. All right, good. Jesus, what the fuck was that? That shit was crazy. It basically got restarted though, didn't it? Can hear me? Okay, good. Man, that was the first time that happened. That was very odd. We're still on the same. Let's see. All right, so now it's been split in half. Okay, I guess that we're just going to get a dedicated Nick Fuentes segment then, I guess. Hold on, let me change the name of the previous stream. I guess I'm just going to have to fuse this. Here's what I'm going to do. When this is done and I have to upload this to the archive, I'm just going to... When I upload this to the archive, I'm just going to fuse them together. I'm going to fuse these. I'm going to edit these together and just fuse them into one single stream VOD. Okay, here we go. Now, what's important, though, is that you guys can hear this shit right here.
With the Dan Bilzerian thing, that relationship deteriorated over time, and I probably still have the text conversation. I could find it if I really wanted to. But
matter of fact, we're not even going to listen to it to that. We're going to listen to it through this. Through this right here. Because this way, when I stop it, I don't have to worry about anything.
With the Dan Bilzerian thing, that relationship deteriorated.
Is it still lagging? Hold on, let me see something. The video has an echo. Hold on, let me see. Damn, bro. What the fuck happened? What happened? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm giving you guys just fucking coal right now. Absolute coal. Give me 1 minute. I'm about to fix this. You know, it's actually convenient. It's actually pretty convenient for me to be doing this because now I can just make fucking stickers and emotes in the background while we listen to this, occasionally pausing and shit like that. All right, let's go.
Over time. With the Dan Bilzerian thing, that relationship deteriorated over time, and I probably still have the text conversation. I could find it if I really wanted to. But I'll never forget, I think it was, might have been in like December or January or something, but we got in like an argument about, I think it was the Stalin thing. It was either the Stalin thing on Tucker or it was Charlie Kirk. It was somewhere around that time. And he was giving me shit over that. And I was basically saying, like, I don't need to explain myself to you, and and you don't really know what you're talking about. Like, I kind of, he was pressing me on it, and I was kind of like, look, I don't really need to explain myself to you. Like, you can like it, you can not like it, but you don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You don't. I also don't have to explain myself to you. It went something like that. I could probably pull it up. And he immediately went into like, well, I've been famous for longer than you, and you think because you got a little notoriety that, now you're an egomaniac and blah, blah. You're so arrogant.
That's actually
and you think
true.
You're so smart and blah, blah.
That's actually a very good read from Dan Bilzerian. That, you got a little bit of clout and now you're letting it go to your head, Nick. That's true. That has always happened to Nick. Whenever Nick lets it get to his head, whenever Nick starts getting some momentum, whenever Nick starts getting some headwinds, he starts getting extra super arrogant and he starts burning shit down around him. He starts burning people because he always thinks that he's better than everyone, even though he's failed time and time again. And he really has just lucked his way into his current situation.
And that's when it's like, oh, okay, I see. It's like, because it's not about fame and it's not about my ego. It's like,
it is about your ego.
It's about the issues. I don't call up Dan Bilzerian and say, hey, what did you think of my performance? It's like, this guy's breaking my balls about everything. And I just said, like, dude, like, you really are in no position to push back on this because you don't really know any of the information. Like on the subject of Stalin, he's pressing me about this.
Why are you even talking about
he goes,
Stalin?
oh, Stalin's a Jew, and
what? Stalin's a Jew? The fuck? I didn't know. Are Georgians Jews now? The fuck is he talking about? Stalin is a Jew. Why are you even talking about this with Dan Bilzerian? He doesn't know shit about Stalin. He probably doesn't know anything about World War II outside of Hitler was based.
Communists are Jews. And I said, first of all, Stalin's not Jewish. Second of all, you're the one that worships Hitler. I said, so,
you do too,
I explained the whole thing about how...
You do too, though. You also worship Hitler, Nick. Why are you trying to make him feel weird about it? Hey, you worship Hitler. Bro, you super worship Hitler.
I just admire Stalin. I said, and...
You worship Hitler and Stalin. That's what's weird, right? Usually with people, it's one of the other. Either you think that Hitler was super based or you think that Stalin was super based, right? If you're a tanky or if you're a white nationalist, whatever. Nick Fuentes is this weird subhuman who thinks that Hitler and Stalin were both super based. It's weird.
And obviously the analog to this is how we all admire Hitler. I'm like, Hitler was a brutal dictator.
We all admire
too.
Hitler.
I'm like, but obviously, you and I admire him because, there's other things that he did for Germany, and there's reasons that we admire him.
We admire him for the other things. I mean, he was a brutal dictator. He killed a lot of people. He went around conquering, invading other people's territories. He's got millions of people, including millions of Germans, killed. But, he did a couple good things now and then,
And he goes...
This is exactly how tankies talk about how communists and socialists talk about Stalin, too. They're like, yeah, I mean, Stalin he did do a lot of fucked up shit. He did invade countries. He did have people massacred. He did, there's a whole Holodomor and shit like that. But, bro, look at all the good things that Stalin did. He fought fascism. I mean, you're going to hold all that other stuff against Stalin when he fought fascism?
He's telling me about...
Yes, I am.
How, like, Hitler went to war with the communists to save the Christians in Russia. And I told him, I'm like, that's just not true. Like, I said, Hitler hated Slavs. Like, Hitler was racist against Slavs. I'm like, what do you think Hitler was? I'm like, do you think it was all lie? I'm like...
There's another weird reason why a lot of white nationalists look up to Hitler. It's like, Hitler is responsible for the deaths of more white people than any other person in history, basically. Maybe in the next runner-up, I guess, would be Stalin. Right? So those are your two guys. Those are the two goats of people who don't take who take political discourse very seriously while having the most unserious political positions ever. These two guys who are responsible for more white people being killed than any other group of people in the world in history, they were actually super based. I suppose if you adjust per capita, right? I suppose if you adjust per capita of the population of the world, Caesar would probably be the next guy, because Caesar killed a lot of Gauls. Caesar killed a lot of Gauls and Celts and shit.
Hitler wanted to kill and enslave all the Russians and make Russia like part of Greater Germany. And he's like, oh, well, you know, it's hard to know.
There's a tanky on Twitch who just pretends Stalin did nothing wrong and it's all anti-Stalin propaganda. Well, old man Kung Fu, you're going to have to be a little specific and tell me specifically who it is, because that's actually multiple people, including Hassan Piker, right? And also these people, they're so weird, because it's like, do you think that all of the people who are alive and went through that shit were just lying? You think the Ukrainians, they were just lying about what the Soviets did to them when they were part of the Soviet Union? You just think they were making that shit up?
Know what to believe. I've told the story before. I'm like, dude, it's in Mein Kampf.
You think the Finns are just lying about that time that Stalin and the Soviets invaded their country and all that? The Winter War is all just propaganda?
I'm like, this 101. It's not contested. It's like Hitler hated Slavs. Like he was a racialist. He was a racial supremacist. He wanted a system based on racial hierarchy, like a racial taxonomy. I said, so like, you know, if you're going to give me shit for Stalin, it's like, well, why are we trying to rehabilitate Hitler? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he goes right to, oh, well, you know, you're Arab.
Exactly, right? Why are you guys trying to rehabilitate Hitler when you understand? It's like when you bring up, you'll have people, let's say somebody is a pro-black. You're a pro-black nationalist, right? And you say white people are evil, white people are the devil, white people do everything wrong. And then like somebody brings up, okay, but what about Idi Amin? What about Mugabe? What about all these other African dictators who mostly did horrific things to other black people? And they'll just excuse everything that those people did away. But okay, you can recognize this stuff, these horrific crimes are evil when we look at it through the lens of what white people have done. But when we look at it as some African dictator who did literally the exact same shit, right? Suddenly it can be excused. And it's the same thing with tankies and why they can excuse any commie dictator like Pol Pot or Stalin or Mao Zedong and the shit they got up to when they do the same shit or even worse than what some of the fascist niggas did. It's just goofy. It's goofy team sports.
Arrogant and, okay, I'm a little arrogant. Well, whatever, you know, but he's like, well, I'm more famous than you and blah, blah. And it's like, it's got nothing to do with that. It's like somebody's right here. And
Dan Blazarian is not more famous than Nick Fuentes. He used to be. But not anymore. I would say that Nick is objectively more famous than Dan Blazarian or Jake Shields or pretty much anybody except maybe like Andrew Tate and Sneeko, right? Those are the only guys who are still in his tier high. You know who it is? Clav is more famous than everybody else in that region. Everybody else in that realm is now officially less famous than Clavicular somehow. Clav went to Israel to fucking teach Netanyahu, Bibi Netanyahu's advisors on looks maxing. And the Jews pissed him off. So he cursed out this fucking Israeli newscaster live on television, walked off the interview and said, fuck Israel and I'm never coming back again. He just like, he shat on the Jews on a public platform in Israel at a level that to which Nick Fuentes never has and never will. And he got away with it.
Somebody's wrong. You're breaking my balls. You don't even know what you're talking about. And Jake just sides with Dan because Jake kisses Dan's ass. Anyway, it's not that it matters. These people, at the end of the day, I think this is a good thing that we're moving on from these people. Because obviously, Sneeko being Muslim and supporting Zohran Mamdani, that just like was never going to work. honestly, it was probably inevitable that there would have been a clash over that, just period. You know, especially as the midterms come up, as 28 comes up. If Sneako's trying to glaze Hassan Piker and Zohran Mamdani and the Muslim stuff, that's just not going to work. The whole Muslim Christian thing is just not going to work, period.
It was never going to work.
And these the retards.
It was literally never going to work. I don't understand.
This is also Candace and
see, here's the thing, right? You were one of the people who was pushing for it. You were one of the people who was pushing for the Muslim Christian alliance over, I don't know, some religious lines like, oh, we're both conservatives and all that other shit. Which, here's the thing, Sneako actually is just a religious grifter. 100%. 100%. The fucking pro-Islam shit that he does, all of that is 100% just a grift. He's just grifting off of retarded, well, they aren't even third worlders. These are Muslims who live in the United States, in Canada, in the UK and shit, right? And they're all like, yeah, fucking Sneako. He's fucking speaking truth to power. When really he's not. He's just trying to grift off people. And Nick was pro that up until recently. And here's the thing. Nick's problems with Sneako are still mostly personal. It's mostly personal grievances. Sneako's politics or his religion or any of that stuff are like secondary factors in the reason why he and Nick are like beefing with each other again.
And Carol.
Personally, I think they're going to get back together again because they've done this before. They've done this before where their relationship, they burned the bridge with each other and then they linked back up and became friends again. And then they burned the bridge with each other again. I think they're just in like a love-hate relationship, personally.
Are crashing and burning over the Tyler Robinson thing. And these other characters are just nut jobs, like Stu Peters. Like, I'm sorry, not a serious person. Dan Bilzerian, idiot.
He's just jealous. He's just jealous that he doesn't have the charisma of Stu.
Jake Shields, idiot. Ian Carroll, idiot. Like, you know, these are not people that we can bring with us, so.
He's doing the exact same thing here that he was doing like a decade ago, back in his early days, the early America First Media days, where he's just shitting on all the other dissident right figures and saying that he's the only dude, he's the only sane man in the room. He's the only guy who you can listen to, only guy you can trust, only guy you can follow, only guy you should be giving money to. Don't give money to any of these dudes, but give money and clout and views and your unwavering devotion to Nick Fuentes, though. He's the only guy you can trust.
Anyway, I'm just thinking about it because it's like, it's such a bizarre.
I'm not saying you should, by the way. All these dudes are retarded. It's just Nick Fuentes is also part of it.
Year that there's all this,
except Stu Peters is based.
It's like, why are we even fighting? It doesn't even really make sense. But in the end, I think it's just one of those situations where it's like the garbage takes itself out. I can't be babysitting all these people, and honestly, I don't even think there's a real benefit. I think if anything, it's more of a liability. You know, Dan Bilzerian getting all this money from CARE. I mean, what the fuck is that all about? And it's funny how like it's frustrating, but it's also vindicating. And it's also funny how, you know, over time, it just becomes more apparent how wrong these people are. You know what I'm saying? Like a few months ago, when everybody dogpiled on me, calling me a fed.
You are a fed. That hasn't got away. Is he trying to make it seem like that's something in the past? Oh, well, we're past the fed thing. No, we ain't. No, we ain't, nigga. You still glow in the dark from where I can see. Fucking, you will never stay in a room where somebody's turning the lights off unless there are cat boys there or trans women. Mikey watches Nick Fuentes confirm tranny KKK white nationalist. Yep, y'all got me. Tony was right. I am a KKK fucking white nationalist. I'm listening to Nick Fuentes right now.
I think a lot of people rolled their eyes and it's like, oh, really? Like, you know, you guys are gassing this guy up for 2 years. Now he's a fed. Oh, okay. Like we haven't heard that before. But more than that, it's like, okay, even a few months ago, if people said, wow, well, if Dan is saying that, you know, maybe there's something to it. It's like you fast forward now and you see Sneako is totally insane. The Muslim thing.
Sneeko has always been
he's just
insane.
full mask off. Like, let's say you're a neutral, objective, outside observer. You're giving everybody a fair shake. It's like Sneeko has gone full anti-white. He's gone full mask off. It's all anti-white. It's all anti-Christian. And it was going in that direction for a long time. That's why the Groypers hated him. You know, we got a diluted version of this in the beginning of the year. And last year even, I think that's why there was a lot of beef with Sneeko among the Groypers, because it was always sneak dissing Christians and whites.
Sneak dissing.
And the Muslim stuff just was really getting tiresome. And since all this beef started in the spring, it's like Sneeko has gone totally mask off, Muslim, militant, Islamist, anti-white, anti-Christian, feminist. Like he's almost just like true A-log fashion, just going with the opposite of whatever I say. So if I'm anti-woman, he's a feminist. If I'm pro-white, he's anti-white. If I'm Christian, he's hating on Christian.
According to Nick Fuentes, Sneeko is his A-log now.
And that...
Not just a hater, not just a dude he disagrees with. Sneeko is a Nick Fuentes A-log.
You know,
as a Nick Fuentes A-log myself, we don't claim Sneeko. We don't claim that nigga. He is not a welcome member of the Fuentes Detractorverse. He can stay on that side.
That's just like a flawed way to be in general. Like, you should just have your own principle.
You can hate on Nick Fuentes you want, nigga. You can't drink from the same water fountain as us.
Like, I've never been pro-Islam. I think I've always been pretty anti-Islam, actually. It's just that we had this truce, or, you know, we kind of pulled our punches on them for a moment because of what was happening with Palestine. But even during that, I would always stress during the Palestine conflict, like, I don't really care about Palestine in itself. It's a wedge issue, and we're still against Muslims in Europe. It's just that that's not the priority right now here in America, at least. So I'd like to think that I've always been...
Well, Nick has always been sneaking sector lingo into his shit because he's a kill stream kitty. He's a kill stream kiddo. Never forget, right? Never forget that if it wasn't for Ethan Ralph, if it wasn't for Ethan Oliver Ralph and the illustrious kill stream, Nick Fuentes probably wouldn't be where he is today. It's two people, right? It's two people who really made three people. Three people who really made Nick Fuentes who he is today, who he'll never give credit to. Cassie Dillon, who put him on with Ben Shapiro and Brightside Media and first got America First started as a show. That started because Nick Fuentes got an opportunity from Cassie Dillon after he did that one debate in college, and she was impressed and suggested him to Ben Shapiro. Two is Milo Yiannopoulos, who was like his mentor for the longest time until he burned that bridge. And three is Ethan Oliver Ralph, who was always putting Nick Fuentes on the kill stream back when the kill stream was a bigger show than Nick Fuentes' show is. He will never give Milo, Ralph, or Cassie Dillon the credit they deserve for making... Oh, wait, I forgot James Alsop. So 4 people. He'll never give these 4 people the credit they deserve for getting him anywhere in the first place. He would never be anywhere if it wasn't for Cassie, if it wasn't for James Alsop, if it wasn't for Ethan Ralph, and if it wasn't for Milo. But he'll never admit it.
Consistent. And Sneeko is very reactive, which is a bad way to be in general, but also to attack whites and Christians. It's just not going to work. That doesn't work for anybody. Like, Democrats aren't even doing that anymore because Democrats realize it's poisonous. So it's like he has really revealed himself. Like I said, if you're an outside observer and neutral and you're giving everybody really a fair hearing, it's like you look at me and I'm just consistent and I'm
what? No, who the fuck? I'm just consistent. Hey, you look at me. You look at Nick Fuentes, the most consistent man in politics, not just in the dissident right, but in general. Nick Fuentes has never folded in the wind. He's never betrayed a long-held belief. He never flip-flops on shit from month to month as if his fucking hormones are raging. He's never done that. He's the most consistent guy.
Same stuff I've always been on. Sneeko's just
same stuff he's always
like
been
totally
on.
Anti-white, anti-Christian, psycho-Muslim. the Malcolm X LARP. Same thing with like Dan Bilzerian. Okay, if you're an objective guy, you go, okay, let's see what's going on with Dan and Nick. It's like, well, Dan, his campaign just has never started.
Like, Nick hates his roots, but who would want to accept that Ethan Ralph is your daddy? I mean, that's a good point, right? It's like, shit, bro. I would hate to admit that Nick Fuentes made me too. I owe my career unironically to Ethan Oliver Ralph. That'd be a tough pill to swallow.
Like if the whole message is, Nick isn't doing enough, I'm going to do something real. I'm actually going to take action. Well, there's no campaign. Where's the fucking campaign? You haven't done anything. What's the excuse? It's like, I went off about this last week. It's like, what's the excuse? You don't go to the district. You haven't done an event. You don't have a platform. You're not doing any media. It's like, so you're just wasting everybody's time. And then to boot.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. It's just a clown campaign. It's the same thing as James Fishback. James Fishback is also doing a clown campaign that's not going to go anywhere. And he's only doing it because he owes a lot of people money. And he's under this weird delusion that maybe if he wins, or I don't know, maybe he can get enough support, he'll be able to get out of all of the legal and financial trouble that he's in. And it's just not happening. Sorry, Mr. Fish Sticks. You're going to have to pay up.
All your donors are from the Council on American Islam.
The Groyper's favorite dude running for governor, James Fishback. Wait, is he running for
Islamic relations? What the fuck is that? And then you go, okay, so clear. And then pouring into it all these other statements where he goes, I don't give a fuck about America, and I have no loyalty to any race or location or religion. And you realize, like, this guy's not really a fellow traveler ideologically. This guy's entire idea is just fuck Israel. There's nothing deeper than that. There's nothing bigger than that. There's nothing wider than that. What policies, if you get elected? Oh, I don't know. I hope we're going to go give a fuck about America, and I have no loyalty to any race or location or religion. And you realize, like, this guy's not really a fellow traveler ideologically. This guy's entire idea is just fuck Israel. There's nothing deeper than that. There's nothing bigger than that. There's nothing wider than that.
Whoa.
What policies, if you get elected? Oh, I don't know. I hope we're going to go to war with Israel. Are you America first? No, fuck America. Okay. What do you think about Islam? I like Islam. I get all my money from Muslims. It's like, what? So what even is this? What's going on with that? And then Jake Shields, I mean, that guy's just retarded. So, but it's just funny. And then you got all the...
True, Jake Shields is retarded. But again, he was your guy. Like, it's the thing, this classic thing, a classic Fuentes-ism, is that you call people out for things that were apparent from day one, but you were cool because they were your guy for the longest time, right? It's like Laura Loomer. There's a lot of the shit about Laura Loomer that he complains about. The little rant he gave on Laura is that was shit that everybody said about Laura Loomer from day one. You were fine with it because Laura was in your corner. She was your girl, your gal, your Jewess. You even had her on your fucking website, your fucking on fucking cozy.tv.
Those other side characters like the Amy Dangerfield, it was obvious that wasn't going to go anywhere. And Casey Push, he disappeared after he lost his election. He thought he was going to be an influencer.
Nick tried to frame it as his audience is catching up with him, when in reality, Nick's catching up with his audience. No one ever likes Sneeko or Jake or any of these guys.
Sir, yeah, you had your chance. You're running in Ohio. Your 15 minutes are up.
Yes, Nick does. Nick intentionally surrounds himself with weak men because strong men, they tell him shit that he doesn't like to hear. He doesn't like that. He wants yes men.
Even someone like Candace Owens, I mean, to the extent that me and Candace Owens have beef and we're alienated from each other, look at her. I mean, she has totally ruined her credibility as well. I mean, it's...
Wait. Now, look, dude. You can say whatever the fuck you want about Candace. Whatever the fuck you want about Queen Candace. But, you look at the views, right? You look at Candace Owens's YouTube channel. You look at her streams. And I don't know, bro. I don't see a loser. I don't see a loser when I look at Candace Owens' shit. She's winning a little bit too hard. It's worrying. It's concerning. It's concerning how much she manages to win while still just being a crazy bitch. In fact, let me pull this up real quick. So, okay, her last live stream is sitting at, hold on, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up right now for you guys. Her last stream is sitting at almost 1 million. Every last 3 streams of Candace Owens are all at 1 million fucking views. Like, this is losing. She's losing, though. She killed all her credibility. Like, no, bro. This is Candace Owens' credibility. This is her identity. Everybody already knew she's a crazy conspiracy theory ass bitch. That's why they come to her. That's why they watch her. Look at this. Man, look at this shit right here. Bro, this shit would bring the quartering to his knees. He would be in tears to be able to get views like this. 40 million views in the last month, bro. 10,000 new subscribers. Crazy. Insane. But look, bro. She killed her credibility. She killed her credibility, though. Killed her credibility.
This has been like a long year where, you know, a year ago, everybody was rising. Candace was rising. I was rising. Everybody's on the come up. The political winds have changed. And you look at a year later where everybody's landed. And
what's funny, too, about Candace is that she doesn't even have to do this because how much does her husband make again? How much is Candace Owens' husband's net worth? It is $240 million. So, okay, she has a husband with a $250 million net worth. She doesn't even have to do this. This is basically a hobby for her. She's engaging in a hobby.
It's like she's just totally destroyed.
Like she has an independent net worth of around 5 to 6 million, which is chump change to her husband. Like, she doesn't even have to work for real.
And it's not that she still has an audience. She's still popular. But I think the general impression of her is that she's crazy. The anti-Semites in general, I think, look crazy and disorganized. And you could say about me, if I were to be honest with myself, I would say that I definitely lost credibility with the anti-Semites by taking a moderate position on Epstein and supported the Venezuela operation, among other things. However, I think that I have actually positioned myself as still reasonable to the majority of people. Even though there's like a very loud group that feels betrayed because I just didn't keep doubling down on JQ like these other people, where it just gets more and more extreme and everything's the Jews and blah, blah.
See, that's one thing. He says that I've been consistent. You were one of the biggest JQ guys for the longest time, right? You basically burned the bridge. According to you, you burnt the bridge between you, Cassie Dillon, and Ben Shapiro got burned because you kept asking too many questions about Jews, and they kept getting you fired. Every time you would ask questions about Jewish influence, those damn Jews would just suddenly abruptly fire you. That's what you say. According to Cassie, he actually got fired because he's a cunt and nobody liked associating or being around him, which I find both of those stories to be very believable. Probably a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, TBH. But no, he'll act now like, oh, he's the high IQ anti-Semite. That's what Nick will try and pretend to be.
I actually have done is earned credibility with the institutions, which is actually the strategic play. And what I mean by that is, like, somebody like Tim Pool really likes me now.
Wait. Tim Pool really likes me now. Tim Pool really, first off, The insinuation that Tim Pool has any real institutional power. What institutional power does Tim Pool have? Because, okay, he gets views. He's a popular conservative commentator. So is Candace Owens. Candace is actually even more popular than Tim is. So doesn't Tim, by that same logic, doesn't Candace actually have more institutional pull than Tim Pool? Right? Like, Tim Pool doesn't have any fucking institutional. What the fuck are you talking about? What, he met Trump once and that means he has institutional power? Nigga, you met Trump once and then he disavowed you. What are you talking about? Tim Pool likes me.
Tim Pool in here, but I think he,
the beanie man, he likes me,
is representative of kind of like maybe a mainstream demographic. And so it's like, if I can counter signal, like, let's say the anti-Semites, our side or something a little bit, if I can differentiate myself and say, hey, I'm not on that train. I'm not a conspiratard. I'm not going to accept every Jewish conspiracy.
I'll accept a lot of them, not all of them, though.
Or blame.
I have discerning tastes with my anti-Semitism.
Literally everything on the Jews. If I could do that and hurt my credibility.
Nick Fuentes literally, you know how Nick Fuentes even got on this whole, how he started with the whole Holocaust denial shit? He just watched a documentary. He watched a documentary in college, and then he's like, oh my God, the fucking Jews are lying about everything. That's how he got on his anti-Semitic Holocaust denial train, right? One documentary. One Holocaust was fake. The Holocaust, more like the Noah-caust documentary, was all it takes. He'll act like he went on this whole intellectual journey, stress test and all these institutions that were run by Jews. No, he watched like one fucking film about how the Holocaust was fake, and that was it.
Some with these guys, but earn credibility with more mainstream people. You know, that's actually the real game. And I think I even said this last year. I think I said last year during the generational run, I said I haven't really lost sight of things.
Wait. Is that what we're calling it now? Is that what it's going to be etched out in history as, in the Nick Fuentes timeline? The Nick Fuentes autobiography that he's definitely going to write when, in like another few years from now, you're going to call it the generational run? When Nick Fuentes went mainstream. This isn't the first time, but you know, it's the most recent time when he went mainstream. The generational run of 2025.
Generational run. I kind of told myself, like, I knew it would plateau eventually because it's like, for obvious reasons, you get sense.
Yeah, because you were AstroTurf. It wasn't natural. It wasn't natural how you were being pushed, bro. They were pushing you. Because here's the thing, right? They were intentionally trying to push Nick Fuentes because they wanted him to be appear as the tip of the spear for the new right. So then they could discredit the new right with all of the baggage that Nick Fuentes would bring with it. Right. But that's what they wanted to do. Nick Fuentes, either he's going along with it, or he doesn't even realize, right? Like, he didn't even realize that he was just being used. Or alternatively, third option, he just didn't care. He just didn't give a shit, and he just wanted to be famous and get his name said a lot. And he wanted more people to tune in to his streams and buy more of his merch so he could make more money. It could have all been a combination of the three, to be honest.
Again, which is basically...
Thank you for the hype.
Basically what happened. And also, people lose interest. They're on to the next flavor of the month, personality, whatever. It happens. It's like, but I knew even then my goal was to break down some doors for myself and make some introductions, press the flesh, get on the shows, and be who I am, which is, I think people meet me and they say, oh, he's like a likable, respectful guy. He's reasonable. He's willing to have the conversation.
It's really the opposite. Everybody who gets to know you very well, who isn't a complete cocksucker for you, everybody who isn't like that, they eventually come to despise you and think of you as a smarmy little cunt. You know, that's the case with Milo, the case with James Alsop, the case with Ethan Ralph, the case with Jaden, you know.
To sort of make those connections.
Case with Cassie Dillon, the case with Ben Shapiro. Everybody who gets to know you eventually comes to the conclusion that you either fucking suck or they stay a ball washer forever like Beardson.
But also then to try to angle for mainstream acceptance. It's like, My goal.
Destiny is the rare occasion where somebody did both. They sucked your dick in, they still ended up hating you.
Is not to, with a lot of these other influencers, the goal is just like up and up and up and up. And this is why a lot of like IRL live streamers crash out. It's because they're always trying to up the ante. They're on this trajectory, they're blowing up. And the only way to keep the rate of growth or even maintain is to just keep being outrageous and more outrageous. And what eventually happens is they crash. And I think that's a little bit what happened to Clavicular. Because Clavicular, it's like to maintain what he was doing, he had to be on all these drugs and it had to just keep getting crazier. And you know what happens when you do that? Legal problems, blow all your money, doing.
I don't know, Clavicular seems to be doing pretty all right. I don't know what Nick is talking about.
That stuff, you get burned out. So
Clavicular is doing better than you, bro.
Either burn out and
you should have got on that looks maxing type routine.
Exhausted, or you're on drugs, you overdose.
Clavicular went to Israel, disrespected the Israelis and Jews and Benjamin Netanyahu's fucking advisors to their face on live television. And then he fucking stepped out like a G. And he's still rich and famous.
On drugs. Overdose on drugs causes problems for you behind the scenes. And now, like, clearly he's not at the same level he was before. And
I don't know about that, bro.
Is saddled with a lot of problems, would be my guess. Legal problems and some issues.
Clav is burning fast. It won't last. It won't last because Clavicular is probably going to die either in his late 20s or early 30s. I don't see Clavicular making it to 35 or even 34 or 33. He's probably going to be out here. It's probably going to be like the looks maxer equivalent of Alexander the Great. A short life of glory at the age of 32 is the best he could hope for.
Pertaining to the drug use and whatever. And
that nigga is not going to stay here for a long time. And honestly, I don't think he wants to. I don't think Clavicular wants to get old and like look less attractive. He doesn't want to have to age gracefully. He wants to die thinking that he looked beautiful his whole life.
And so anyway, so when I was on the generational run a year ago, I was thinking like the real strategic goal. Strategy is long-term thinking.
Nigga, you don't got strategy. What the fuck are you talking about? Long-term thinking? You've been winging it forever. You've been winging. What was the grand strategy of fucking hooking up with Kanye? And there was no strategy there. You just love Kanye West. You worship him. You worship him more than you worship Hitler and Stalin, which is saying a lot because those are supposed to be your two goats, right?
Is how do I bang?
When Kanye came out with the song about how when he was young, he would suck his cousin's dick. Nick Fuentes was one of the dudes in the front line like, you guys don't understand how much it took out of Ye to come out and make a song like that. That was the bravest, boldest, most brilliant thing that anybody could ever do. That was what Nick unironically said about Kanye confessing to sucking his cousin's dick when he was younger.
This, and make it so that like the permanent thing that I've achieved is the mainstream acceptance. It's like, because these things are cyclical and they come in waves. I had a big wave in 2025. I think I'll probably have...
Hey, David Duke, what up, bro?
Have another big wave in like 2028 when the next election is. Because it's cyclical. Interest in politics, that sort of stuff. But I was thinking like, how do I purchase this qualitative, like kind of permanent advantage with the quantitative advantage?
Did Perez Hilton really cut off his dick? I thought he just shoved the knife up his ass.
I have. In other words, what I had...
He cut himself up and then he put the knife up his ass. I didn't know he actually cut his dick off. Turned himself into a eunuch? He's eunuch maxing?
25 was just like these...
I'm surprised he didn't transition already. He seems like a perfect fit.
Totally...
I guess he was too old, though. He's too old.
Insane numbers. And I still can obviously get the numbers. Like
becoming a troon in your fucking late 40s. Well, actually, a lot of people do that. A lot of people do transition when they're middle-aged and shit. So it actually would be...
Like with the Hunter Biden thing. But last year I was just this article of fascination. And I was just getting crazy viewership, crazy numbers. The clips were going insane. Since then, I got banned from Instagram and everything, and I think a lot of people checked out or whatever.
What did you do?
But I thought, like, how could I take?
Tell us what you did
this
to get
brute
banned.
Force, just like people want a taste of that. People want their share of the flavor of the month. You know, they want to have me on the show because they can't really ignore the numbers. They know it's going to be a big episode and big money. And I thought, how can I purchase like a permanent change in status? And so I'm really angling for the strategy is just the mainstreaming.
Nick Fuentes kind of did, in my opinion, I think he did peak during the Kanye West arc because it was with the latest shit, that shit really does feel super astroturfed and whatnot. But with the Kanye West shit, he got put on very heavy. He was on all these shows. All these other streamers were coming out to fuck with him and talk to him and shit like that. Right? Like he actually had a lot of motion going during the Kanye West arc, during the Yay 2020 arc. Or was it Yay 2024? Anyway, I feel like in terms of natural popularity of Nick Fuentes, that was the peak. The newer shit feels very astroturf to me. And that's why I don't consider it genuine. He has gotten more popular because of it, undeniably, though.
And so, you know, making those introductions, kind of getting my name out there last year, you know, made me a household name. And now I think what the smart play is, this is why I say it's not a liability, is to, you know, Dan Bilzerian and all of them, that, you know, they're just not like thinking. They all think they're going to push me out of the anti-Semite club. It's like, but what you're not realizing is you're giving me room. You're giving me room.
It's crazy there's a club now. There's a club for anti-Semitism. Like, look, bro, anti-Semitism has never been as mainstream as it is right now. There are a lot of people, a lot of retarded people, actually. I feel like there probably should be a club for anti-Semitism because these new anti-Semites, these niggas are a little bit too, they let too many people in. You got all these dumb, retarded leftists who think that all Jews are responsible for bombing all of Palestine. You got these dumb people like fucking Dan Bilzerian and Jake Shields who blame the Jews because, I don't know, their fucking burger patty got overcooked last night. It's like, oh, those fucking small hats. I know it's them who was responsible. There probably should be a club, a committee, somebody. You know, they need to get a board or something to make anti-Semitism, to regulate anti-Semitism and make it a more legitimate thing again. It needs to be like a gentleman's hobby. Plebs can't engage in anti-Semitism because they can't handle it.
To say, see, I'm no longer the craziest one in the room. There's people crazier than me. There's people that are more hateful than me. I'm not like I'm a hateful guy, but you know what they say. It's like you've actually given me room to say, see, I just want to put America first. I'm a Christian. I love everyone, and I'm against Israel. But there's other people that are far worse. I'm the moderate here. I'm the moderate Israel critical guy. And I'm even going to go further and say, you know, like I'll make jokes that appeal to Jewish people. And
Jewish inclusive
it's almost
humor.
like they're letting me be the moderate.
What a guy.
And they're letting me be the moderate in different.
Nick Fuentes trying to get Goy of the Year over here. Man, I never thought I would see today. You've come a long time. You've come a long way. Imagine, Miro, if you had this sort of attitude back when you were in college. You still have a job with Ben Shapiro and Cassie Dillon and shit.
Ways in different dimensions. Like I get to be the moderate in terms of the conspiracies. And you know, what you're hearing people say in some cases is they're saying like even Nick Fuentes thinks the Charlie Kirk conspiracy is too crazy. Even Nick Fuentes is saying, you know, whatever. And this, in a way, I was doing this throughout the generational run, where during the generational run, I was like
I
really
love how he
paying
keeps
heavy lip
referring
service
to it
to
as the
Democrats
generational run.
and the genocide.
Like he loves it. He loves that that's part of his legacy. It's part of his legend. The legacy of Nick Fuentes is generational run.
Because then people...
The generational run, by the way, just being on a lot of podcasts, that's it. That was the generational run. It wasn't a generational run of top tier content. It wasn't a generational run of like running for office or helping somebody else successfully run for office. It wasn't anything like that. It was just I went on a bunch of podcasts and, you know, I talked about some shit and that's it.
People just see a different side of me. They're saying, wow, why am I agreeing with him? Oh, Nick gets it. Republicans are corrupt. Oh, he gets it. You know, he's against a genocide, like, and he's being nice to Muslims or whatever. And it's like, going further, it's like...
That's basically, the generational run is generational because he was trending a lot for a little bit. That was the generational run. Nothing really resulted from it aside from me getting some clout. But, you know, it's generational, bro. Changed the world.
Distinguish myself.
They'll be talking about this shit for years.
And create real legitimate distance with the craziest flank. Like, it does create this pressure where maybe I could be pushed into the mainstream. And don't get me wrong, people think that's like a dirty word, but it's like, look,
he wants that so bad, bro. After all these years, the thing that he wants most is to be legitimate in the eyes of mainstream conservatives and people like that. That's what he wants. Here's my thing. My thing with Nick Fuentes, what I really think is the key behind Nick Fuentes' psyche is it's basically a combination of three things. One, that he's gay and he's in the closet and he's like halfway in the closet. People can see him in the closet. We know he's in the closet. I'm pretty sure the average groiper is also aware Nick Fuentes is in the closet. They just go along with it because they like Nick and they don't want to hurt his feelings, which is kind of sweet when you think about it. Groipers are sweethearts when it comes to Nick acting like he's not gay. So that's number one. Number two is him being a test tube baby, him being born in a petri dish, and that clashing with his fate and also his sense of identity. That's a major hang up for Nick. And number three, it's the fact that he got bullied when he was younger by his peers, and he's always... The Super Bowl party shit has always haunted him for years. Not just the recent one, but the ones from childhood too. That shit has always haunted him and stayed with him. And those three things are the things that really are what operate and what explain Nick Fuentes' various shenanigans over the years. He's got all those three hangups. Everything goes back to them.
That's the Overton window shifting. If the guy with all the baggage who was like an unspeakable name is suddenly on the cusp of the fringe of the mainstream, that means like we're in. That means the conversation has changed. The country has changed. And if I get mainstream access, that means like everything changes. You know, we need to get to a point where you're not going to get fired for being a fan of mine. And once that happens, like everything changes. So,
bro, you didn't know? You didn't know about the test tube, the test tube Frankenstein baby lore? Yeah, bro. Fucking Nick Fuentes, he was conceived via IVF. Yeah, he's not a natural birth.
I think in the long run,
he's an abomination of modern science.
We're going to see this as like a very important stepping stone. If
nothing against IVF niggas who are, you know, watching this or just in general. I'm just saying, Nick Fuentes, he's not pro IVF, and yet he was born from IVF. It's an affront to his fate, but yet here he is, this abomination, this Frankenstein of modern scientists stepping on the toes of God. That's how he got here. That's why we're dealing
with conflict in a low boil. You know, these people are nut jobs, but it's good. And the other thing that it does, it's a good foil because it highlights my best qualities. It highlights my best qualities because you look at someone like a Dan Bilzerian, and he's just very angry. He's very, if you look at his timeline, everything is seething. It's all anger. It's all fuck you and fuck this person and fuck retards and blah, blah. Everything's very angry. It's not nothing he does is playful. It's not playful. It's not funny. It's not earnest. It's all mad.
You are not earnest.
And I think I'm the opposite.
Why do you think you're earnest?
I'm very like cheerful. And,
no,
and I can rage a little bit.
Seething. You're seething all the time. You're always seething and malding and fucking catty about shit all the time. Just because you make jokes every now and again doesn't change that.
Have like that range where I can get a little heated and intense, but for the most part, I think I'm pretty like bubbly and like fun. And the other thing is,
you're bubbly.
Dumb. Like him and Jake
Well,
Shields.
you are bubbly. You're a little bubbly, not in the way you probably meant it.
So
or maybe it was in a way that he meant it. I think that Nick does like being gay. He likes coming out of the closet on occasion, right? He likes to tease, but he'll never commit. He'll never commit to just openly being gay.
Perfect foil because they're just like two nitwits. They can't string a sentence together. They're not articulate. Low verbal IQ, and just generally like stupid, like spelling mistakes, don't know anything. Their ideas are very simple. And then you look at me and it's like, oh, this, compared to Jake Shields, I look like a super genius,
Compared to this complete retard, I look smart.
So that's enough. People look at this and they go, okay, so you've got like this anti-Semitic ghetto where everybody's like angry and stupid and dress like shit, and they're all these like meatheads.
Dress like shit? What the fuck? What does that have to do with anything? They all dress like shit. See the cattiness. There's the cattiness again. You don't even serve. You aren't even served. Look at how you're dressed. Like you really came out here like that, sister. A major part of his psyche is also he never even did his first communion, and anyone who knows the lore knows he only got his first Bible while in college from Barnes & Noble, meaning his old Catholic thing is a total fraud and he can be exposed on it. I have the Bible clip. Oh, really? He literally hasn't done his first communion. Well, it's always... That's something that could be easily expected. It's obviously that Nick Fuentes didn't come from a especially religious home, because his sister does not reflect any of his beliefs at all. And I don't know, from what I can see from both of his parents, they both seem to just be normal people, right? Like normal. Maybe they're conservative, but conservative by the levels of Chicago, which is, I don't know, moderate. Pretty like moderate, damn near centrist, basically.
It just represents kind of like the worst of the worst. And then, you got this guy who's like
blue Midwest city conservative ain't the same thing as deep South conservative.
Fun, articulate, and like friendly and willing to talk to people. And they go, clearly we'd prefer this guy. Clearly, and another thing, like not dogmatic. And this guy's willing to kind of go against his own side a little bit. This guy's willing to reach out to people he doesn't agree with. I could go on Dave Smith and we could have a civil disagreement. I could say nice things about Jews and make fun of anti-Semites. And people go, okay, so this guy's like a little more reasonable. And I think, in terms of the long game, and, not like this is all cynical. I know saying this, it sounds like the master plan or whatever. I mean, this is just like, it's just what it is. I mean,
no,
it's true. I mean, I think I don't think there's anything necessarily dishonest or cynical about this. It's just like, it's really all about perception, I guess. It's like, because what people perceive me to be, it's really what those types of people actually are. Sneeko is like a true grifter that believes in nothing. Dan Bilzerian really is just like an angry, hateful guy. Jake Shields is an idiot. He's just low IQ.
You are literally all of these things. What the fuck are you talking about, right? Well, I wouldn't call him an idiot. Nick is pretty smart. But all those other things, those things you just call Sneeko and Dan Bilzerian, you are 100% those things. You are also a grifter who doesn't have any true core beliefs. Or at least you flip-flop on them a lot. You are just an angry, bitter guy a lot of the time.
And then, when those guys stand next to me, I look better by comparison. I don't think that's cynical or dishonest. I think that's...
Mikey, make an RTU sticker. Oh, shit. I just realized. How do I not have an RTU sticker?
It's just like what it is. People say, wow, it could
I got a Gideon sticker, but I don't got an RTU sticker. The fuck's wrong with me?
be so much worse.
Here's what I need to do. I need to do an RTU stream maybe tomorrow, and then I'll have like some sticker material. Because it's been a while, right? I don't think I talked about Review Tech USA once in depth since I came on this fucking stream. I've mentioned them, but ever since I got banned off YouTube, I haven't had a dedicated fucking Review Tech USA stream even one time.
You know, once people discover what's going on with Israel, there is a vector, there is a permutation where it becomes, you know, the peasants with the pitchforks and torches, and they're insane. And another path is where, you know, like a gifted Christian who is, genuinely warm and charismatic, but assertive on these issues.
Who would that be? Who would that be? Gifted, warm, assertive, Christian. Who the fuck could you be talking about? Because I know it's not you. I know you did. Did he really just say that about himself?
You know, like a gifted Christian who is, genuinely warm and charismatic, but assertive on these issues.
Get off your own dick, buddy. Can you stop glugging yourself?
Has leadership. You know, that
it's actually impressive to manage to deep throat yourself. Just get all that shit down your throat.
Like I said, I don't think that's cynical. I think that's just kind of what it always has been. It's just now that it's becoming more apparent. So
yeah, you pepper spray old ladies, but look, bro, he's so warm and he's so gifted and he's so Christian.
So anyway, just some ideas about where we are. It's kind of this is like a
Nick Fuentes will be like, it was a self-defense situation. Nick Fuentes and his grapers are really like, that old bitch, she put me in a self-defense situation. I had to come out and defend myself. I had to open the door and spray her in the face with mace and take her phone in order to defend myself. Meanwhile, when another dude came down there, he came to my house with a fucking gun and a crossbow. I didn't open up the door. I fucking called the police and I stayed inside because that was an actual dangerous situation. Unlike the old lady who posed no danger. And you were just, because you're an angry, bitter man and you just wanted to take it out on her, you just decided to fuck her up.
Very weird time. I don't know if
again, she shouldn't have been there. She shouldn't have been knocking on his door, fucking doing whatever. Absolutely. But he did not need to do what he did.
you guys can relate to this. I've seen other people comment on it, so I know it's not just me. But I just feel like this is a very weird time, you know? It felt like a year ago, things were very clear. A year ago, it's like, we're all just down on Israel, we're down on Trump, and there's other people that are pro-Israel, and we're like, you know, fighting them in a tug of war. And things seemed very certain. And now, it's kind of all over the place. And, yeah, but you know what I think is going to happen? I think that 27 is going to start, and people are going to start to coalesce again. The left is going to coalesce. There's going to be this battle between the progressives and the establishment. And on the right wing, there's going to be I don't know what the right is going to look like, honest to God. Like, I don't know if Rubio's going to run, if Vance and Rubio are going to fight each other, if there's going to be another option.
I don't know
if that
anything.
Option is even going to have
a
chance in hell.
Who knows?
But certainly there'll be a debate on the right. So I think there'll be more coalescing next year because there'll just be more of like a focal point. Right now, we're just kind of like, no one's really paying attention. There's not a lot going on. Everyone's just kind of, it's like crabs in a bucket. I think, though, that as the election starts,
one of the crabs.
The election becomes a focal point. So there is focus. There's like this common language and common subject we're all talking about, and people are going to stake out their positions. So coalescing will be more natural, and it'll become more clear, you know, kind of what we're doing and what the sides are and what the priorities are. And I just want to be in a position where the Groypers are going to have the most influence, you know, where we're going to have access.
What the fuck?
So, yeah.
The Groypers are going to have the most influence in the coming election. Are you actually retarded? Oh, you mean like last time? You mean like last time when you were threatening to fucking take the election from Trump? if he didn't fucking concede on your demands? You mean like last time? What, you gonna fucking threaten Trump from a cave? It's like, oh, I have these lists of demands. You better give in to them.
Just some thoughts on that.
Hassan is more realistic. Well, Hassan already fucked up, right? In case you guys didn't notice, what's his name? It was Dan Crowley. I'm pretty sure that's what his name was. He won the primary for the Democratic primary for governor over Francisco Wong. So the progressives just took another L, and I'm going to go ahead and just call it. Progressives are going to be taking lots of L's in the not too distant future because they got too cocky, right? Like they saw the motion that Zoran Mamdani had, and they think that was going to carry over to them. No, it's not. See, Mamdani has motion because he's actually good at politics and he's charismatic and shit. But even for him, his policies are shit. Already, rent in New York has reached like record highs and some fucking shit. So in a couple years, after his policies fuck up New York, he's also going to be mostly motionless. And his charisma and being good at politicking isn't going to be enough to carry him. These people don't even have that. So they're going to get washed. The progressives are going to get washed. And then they're going to be left on the outs again after talking all this mad shit, trying to sabotage other people on the left. Really, I don't know. If you're a conservative, you probably hate that Francisco Wong lost the primary because she narrowly lost. And it probably would have been an easier win for the dude who's running as the Republican. But anyway, let's see. What was the other thing I was going to look at? Because now we got the other thing. We got another clip. I had to look at of Nick. Yes, this was him whining about the phone shit. This is all a script. Haven't you guys heard of the Bolsheviks? This has happened over and over and over. Every time there's an empire, they use this to try to take it down.
Hey, good morning, guys.
All right, let me see. Oh, yeah, I already got it. All right, cool. Cool. I fucking love this thumbnail.
Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Monday.
You know what this just reminded me of? The way he opened that up. You know how this fucking reminds me of? This reminds me of how DBDR opens up his videos.
All right, today I want to talk about a recent cope I've had. You know, I mentioned it a little bit, subhuman night ghouling on the basketball court.
Same energy and everything.
Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Monday. I apologize I wasn't in here for the past couple of days, but honestly, I did have a real issue. I said it on my show on Friday, but my phone was broke. And it's like the whole lower half of my screen was just inaccessible. So usually I do these voice messages on the phone. And
why couldn't you just do it off your computer? Why'd you have to do it off your phone? Just do it off your fucking computer. Do it with an actual mic, right? For just one time until you can get a new phone.
I took it to the Apple store the other day, finally got it fixed. But you know what's crazy? This is just like an observation I had. And I know you guys can relate to this. So I went to Best Buy to get my phone fixed on Saturday. And I drive all the way down to Tinley Park, which is like, I don't know, 30, 40 miles south of where I live. Because I had to get it broke on Friday night. And the only place I could get it same day was Tinley Park. Saturday.
Now, wait, hold on. Tinley Park. How much did he say? He said 40 miles. Let's see. Suburbs located roughly 40 miles away from Tinley Park, Illinois include Naperville. Oh, let me see. Well, hold on. Don't we already know where Nick lives?
Saturday afternoon at this Best Buy. And so I'm driving to the Best
Oh, he must have meant minutes.
Buy. And I call the Best Buy because I'm going to be, as always, I'm going to be like 20 minutes late. Typical. So I go on my other phone.
Sure, I'll play that one
Best
Groiper
Buy,
cartoon.
And I'm trying to get through to them to say, like, hey, just giving you a heads up, I'm going to be 15 minutes late. And so I call the number that I go on Google Maps. I go to the Best Buy. I call the number that's on the thing, and it takes me to like a call center. And I'm like, hey, so I'm going to be 15 minutes late. They're like, oh, well, we're not actually at the store. This is just a call center. I'm like, oh, okay. Then, so long story short, they couldn't fix the phone on Saturday. Big fucking pain in the ass. It's like I go in there and they go, oh, do you have your iCloud password? I go, no, because my iCloud password's like 40 characters or whatever. You know, it's like whatever. So I don't have it on me. I don't have it written down on me or in my notes app or whatever. So they go, oh, well, they say, well, it's going to take 2.5 hours to fix the phone, and we need your iCloud password. To reset the password, we need to wait an hour, because I guess there's like a security delay feature where if you reset your password and you're not at home, it starts a 1 hour timer in case like your phone gets stolen. So like if someone steals your phone.
People pay Nick Fuentes $100 to be able to listen to this. People pay Nick Fuentes over $100 to hear him fucking whine about this dumb shit.
Phone, and then they try to reset your password. It's like it gives you an hour to, like, I don't know, contact Apple and report it missing or whatever. So anyway, so they go, oh, well, you got to wait an hour for the security delay, and then it's going to be 2.5 hours. It's like, well, I don't want to wait here for 3.5 hours, because I'm going to have to wait here for an hour for the security delay. I live 50 minutes from here, so I'm not going to drive home and drive back. So I got to wait. I'm going to sit here in my car and wait an hour, and then I'm going to give you the phone. Then I got to wait another 2.5 hours. Either I'm driving home and back so I could chill at home for a half hour, or I just got to sit here. So I said, fuck it. So I go to the Apple store yesterday. Same thing.
There was nowhere like a cafe or something you could sit at, go to a book. Wait, no, he can't do that. Because I remember there's that one story that Nick told us about how he went to a bookstore. He got super anxious because somebody tried to talk to him while he was alone. And he had to like go to the bathroom to cope and fucking gather himself. So he probably can't go to a bookstore or a cafe or just, you know, someplace where he can just hang out and chill until his phone gets fixed.
The Apple store in Skokie, in the old Orchard Mall, which is, like an hour in the opposite direction. It's an hour north. So yesterday I go to the Apple
Yeah, he could have gone to the movies, or he could have gone somewhere.
Store, and I'm on my way to the store, and there's a huge storm, and once again, I'm 20 minutes late. So I call the Apple store, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to be 20 minutes late. And they go, oh, well, we're not in the store. I'm like, am I going to be able to get it repaired same day? They go, oh, well, you'll be able to get it repaired same day if they have your screen available to replace. But if they don't, then you'll have to wait for them to order the parts. I'm like, well, do you know if they have the screen? They're like, I don't know. I'm not in the store right now. And so, like, what the fuck is it with this new reality where you call a place and you're not actually calling that place? You know what I mean? Everything is like this now. Hotels, stores. It's like if you want to call ahead to any fucking place.
Is this all the video is? They
don't answer the phone.
I didn't watch it, or I didn't listen to this recording before playing it just now. Is this really all it is? He's just whining and bitching about his phone and shit?
Restaurants, hotels, stores. You call the number.
Yeah, this is a very boomer tier rant.
On Google Maps, you call the number of the place, and it takes you to a call center in another fucking country. And they can't help you with anything. It's like you call ahead to a hotel and be like, hey, whatever, I'm going to need an early check-in or whatever. And they go, oh, well, I'm not there. I can't do that for you. Oh, I can't rebook your room for another night. Call ahead to a store. Hey, I've got an appointment, going to be 10 minutes late. Oh, I'm not there. Do you have this in stock? I don't know. I'm not there. It's like, so why am I? And here's the best part. Then you get the AI at the beginning. It's like you call the store number and you get, hello, this is an automated whatever assistant. And they work you. And you know what I think is happening? This is my theory. I think that the AI is really just like a stalling tactic. I do believe, obviously it works. Obviously.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of those rant YouTubers who used to be super popular back in the 2010s. Remember the early to mid 2010s were filled with dudes like this who were just ranting about random bullshit all the time?
Like if you go through the menu pressing buttons and things, press 1 if you need this, press 2 for billing and for, it obviously does take you to a place. But I also think they do this basically to keep you on the line for 5 minutes without getting pissed off. You know what I mean? Because it's like if you had a dial tone for 5 minutes, you just keep calling, or you'd hang up or whatever. But
yeah, we have had automatic phone calls forever.
If you call and you immediately get an answer and they sort of slow walk you through 5 fucking menus, that's how they keep you on the phone for
The truth is, these businesses simply don't want to have a dedicated phone person. They don't want to have a dedicated person on the phone. And they also don't really want the workers to have to worry about answering the phone either, because that means that they can't work and they can't be productive. So what they want to do is that they use the AI or they outsource it. Really, I guess the outsourcing would be better than I guess the AI would be a step above the outsourcing, because the outsourcer is just the AI person, but they have a worse accent.
7 to 10 minutes without you getting pissed off. Because it's so slow, they make you hear all the options, right? They say, press 1 for this. Press 2. And it's intentionally slow. They do a series of these. And while you're not paying attention, it's like the timer's going. While you're not paying attention, it's been 4, 5, 6 minutes, and then they connect you at an agent. And I think that's
this is a DSP tier rant.
Putting you on a
hold.
hold.
This sounds exactly like DSP ranting about something. DSP goes outside for the first time in the last 3 or 4 months to go and do something, and it didn't go exactly as he hoped it would go. So then he just goes on this super long extended rant about this unimportant bullshit.
It's like a little psychological.
And he still got the thing that he wanted. At the end of the day, Nick still got his phone fixed. He didn't he's not even really complaining about the phone. He's complaining about the service it took for him to get the phone, which at the end of the day, the service still got his product fixed. It still got his thing fixed in a certain amount of time for the price that he paid for it. So
trick. It's something to keep you busy while you're on hold. It's I'm not on hold. I'm
DSP does crumble cookies reviews.
Listening to these men.
How would you? Because here's the thing: you're doing the crumble cookie reviews. Doesn't crumble cookies? Don't they change their recipe? No, they change what cookies they make from week to week or something like that. So for you to review them, you would have to be going to Crumble Cookie on a regular, almost every other day.
Menu options. I haven't been on hold for 7 fucking minutes. I had to listen for 5 different menu options and click through all of them. So I call, and my tactic is I just scream human being until they connect me.
I'm a real human being. I'm a real human being. Maybe he didn't realize that. Maybe he didn't realize that's what he's doing that, but that's what I realized. I'm a real human being. He said he probably thought he was yelling human beings so they would put a human on the line. I think part of the reason I think that Nick Fuentes always has that one phrase, I'm a real human being. I don't think it's based off the meme. I think, again, it goes back to the fact that he was born from a test tube, that he was born in a petri dish, that he was made in a lab by a man in a lab coat. I think that's what it is. And he feels very self-conscious that he's not an actual real human being.
They go, hello. Then I'm just like, human being. And they're like, we understand you'd like to speak to an agent. To better assist you, please describe from the following options.
Also, that tactic doesn't work with the AI because the perk of the AI is that it's impervious to those type of tactics. It'll just keep going back and forth and going in a loop with you for all time.
And I go, human being. And they're like, we understand you'd like, and you just have to keep screaming human being and it eventually connects you. But it's like
$100 a month for what is essentially whiny GF simulator, but it's a Mexican guy.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, what if you had a Latina yelling in your ear, but instead of a Latina, it was a raspy, lab-created homunculus of a man?
Is gonna cause terrorism. Like password resets, call centers. It's like that is what is gonna cause people like me to break. Now, I'm not saying I'm a terrorist. I'm saying like that is going to cause people.
The AI broke him.
People that are like me to.
He got butt broken by the phone AI.
Snap. Then it gets better. Then I go to the Apple store. I go to the counter and nobody acknowledges me for 30 minutes. I go to the Apple store. I go right to the Genius bar at the back. I sit down. I'm soaking wet because I just came in from the rain. And literally, there's probably a dozen people buzzing around the Genius bar, running around with their iPads and things. And I'm sitting there for probably 30 to 40 minutes.
Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you say, hey, excuse me, can I ask you about something? I want to ask about my phone.
Nobody even makes.
He's like a girl at the bar who's trying to get attention from a dude, and rather than just like say what up or even like look him in the eye and smile at him, they just keep sitting in their way, standing in their way, hoping that he notices her.
Eye contact with me. No help.
That's what women do when they like you. When women like you, they'll like actually get in your way. And I don't mean figuratively. I don't mean figure of speech get in your way. I mean they actually become physical obstacles in your life. They will stand in front of you, sit in front of you, occasionally glance at you. Maybe sometimes they'll almost walk in front of you and like almost brush shoulders with you and shit like that. Anything but saying hi.
Hello, welcome in, we'll be right with you. Nothing. They don't even make eye contact. And so at that point, I start I'm literally trying to catch their gaze. I'm like moving my head around, literally.
Wow, he's literally doing the thing. He's literally doing the thing that women with crushes do to try and get dudes' attention.
Put my fucking head in front of their line of sight. You know how you do that? They wouldn't look at me like I'm a beggar, like I'm a homeless person.
Well, you are a beggar. You're not homeless, but you are a beggar. You're a streamer on the internet, and let's be real. All streamers, we're beggar. I'm a beggar. I'm an panhandler. I'll never fucking deny it.
I was so close to saying, do you think I'm fucking homeless or something? What is this? There's this white faggot with a mohawk.
White faggot? Oh, that's some anti-white bigotry right there. Weren't you calling out Sneeko for that in the last $100 group chat?
There's some disgusting fat white bitch. There's these are
two white people. Oh my God, these white people weren't giving me attention.
Cretinous people.
This becomes an incel rant out of nowhere.
And I literally want to say,
sub 5 incel rant out of nowhere.
hey, excuse me, like, do I look like a bum? I said, I know I'm soaking wet. It's raining. Do I look like a fucking bum?
Well, you always look like a bum, whether you're wet or not.
You won't make, like I'm on the side of the fucking, the interchange with the cardboard sign, right? And you just try to look ahead. So you don't want to engage the homeless person.
Well, look, nigga, say something. At least the homeless people, at least they have the sign. At least they jiggle coins in a cup around. Jingle.
The panhandler. So eventually I was like, hey, excuse me, I've been waiting for 30 minutes. They go, did you sign in at the front? I'm like, no.
Okay, so it was your fault. So it was your fault that you didn't get any fucking attention. You didn't do the thing that you were supposed to do.
Oh, we'll be right with you. Thank you. So it's just like, I can't take it anymore, man. It's little things like that.
I got mildly inconvenienced once, and like I can't take it anymore. I'm broken.
It's like you're driving to the store, you have to call.
This is the man who was supposed to save the West, the man who was supposed to save America. This is what groypers believe. This dude is getting broken by fucking AI and people at the genius Apple stand ignoring him.
Call ahead, AI assistant, you get on the line, they don't know what's going on. Then you go to the store, oh, do you have your iCloud password? Well, if we want to reset your password, there's a security delay and we need your backup email. Then you get to the Apple store, they don't look at you for 35 minutes because they're all fucking retarded.
Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're doing other shit. Maybe you need to speak up. Maybe you should have signed in to the kiosk when you first got in there like everybody else has to. Maybe you aren't special, little nigga. You ever thought about that, little bro? That you aren't the center of the fucking world?
I'm like a boomer. And then
Yes, you are. You are like a boomer. You whine like one, and you think you're the center of the world just like one.
And, then the other night, I was like just going to replace the phone. So I log in on my carrier website, forgot my password for my carrier,
oh, he's retarded.
Entered the wrong password too many times. It sent
He's stupid. He's a dummy.
Sign-in code to an email that doesn't exist anymore. This is from 15 years ago. They're like, we sent the password reset link to this email.
Why didn't you just get a new phone to begin with? Aren't you a fucking millionaire? Just get a fucking new phone, dummy. If you would have just went in there and you would have bought a new phone and got a new service provider, that would have been cheaper and easier than whatever the fuck you were trying to do.
I go looking for that email. I try to log into that email. They're like, this email doesn't exist anymore. It's like, what? I just want to replace my phone. I just want to get a new phone screen. Anyway, so the phone is fixed, but it's like the
there was no reason.
Things, the simplest.
There was literally no reason for this rant. There was literally no reason for this rant at all.
I want to replace my phone. I just want to get a new phone screen. Anyway, so the phone is fixed.
So my problem got solved anyway. There's no reason for me to be mad. There was no reason for me to rant about this shit for fucking 11 minutes. But I did anyway. Because I'm a catty, gay homunculus.
It's like the simplest things should be easy, but they're hard. This world is getting to be, it's a little too much for me. Anyway, so that was just my adventure. I'm going to drop another voice.
Adventure, that was an adventure. Adventure for Nick. I guess when you don't go outside that often, you don't go and actually hang out with other human beings like yourself, you might consider that an adventure or two. Now, what are we looking at right here? No, that's not what I'm looking at. No, wait, hold up. That is what I'm looking at. There we go. Yeah. All right, let's look at this real quick.
Y'all groypers need some bootleg shit? I got this bag of flips and this Blu-ray.
No, we do not require your useless garbage.
Don't you ever go to class?
Man, fuck school. Just use AI, nigga.
That's a lot of people actually are taking that to heart. Fuck school, bro. What do you mean study? Man, I got this Chat GPT. Bro, I got this Grok. Nigga, I got this fucking Gemini. You heard about this new shit, bro? It's called Kimmy. It's called Kimmy. I'm using that. I'm using Claude. I'm using Chat GPT. I'm using DeepSeek, nigga. I'm never studying again. I haven't seen the inside of a book in like 3 years, nigga.
Do y'all groypers want one of these? No low balls. I know what I got.
Stop asking us to buy your stupid fucking trash.
Bruh, this tard needs to go. Hey groypers, y'all need any caustic syrup?
You are tearing me apart, Lisa. Ah.
Oh, this is peak. This is peak right here. Oh yeah, nigga. We were posting this. Hell yeah. Oh, this is peak, bro. I'm following you, nigga. That was funny. That was actually pretty funny. I'm not the biggest AI slop consumer, but when I see funny shit, I can't help. I enjoy that. That was funny, bro. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna have to fuse both of these streams together because for whatever fucking reason, I don't know why. I really don't know why that happened. It dropped off. The stream dropped off. It split. Literally, it stopped just as I was just about to get started with the Nick Fuentes half of the stream. So I don't know. It's very conveniently segmented. I'm gonna have to fuse them together before I put them on the Gumroad. Speaking of the Gumroad, let me real quick one more time. Let me shill this Gumroad real quick. Mikey No More, complete-ish edition. Everything will be archived here, including both of these streams, which will be put into one singular stream. It's really more of a Patreon for me than anything. So if you want to do that, if you want to take whatever you want out of here and then re-upload it and monetize it later, that's also cool too. I do not care. And anyway, thanks for tuning in. Probably going to stream tomorrow too. We need to get in our little Fuentes segment. It's been a while. Chorgon Scorm Hammer, thank you for the gifted sub. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, I'll see you guys later, man. Yeah, hold on. Where's fucking God, bro? Yeah, I'll see you guys later.